Welcome to New York City. Chris Chavez here with Aisha Praught-Leer, Eric Jenkins, and Kyle Merber for the CITIUS Mag post-show presented by Olipop. Go to drinkolipop.com and use promo code CITIUS25 for 25% off all your Olipop orders. And you're going to want one to clear that gut health after an amazing Millrose Games. This meet, once again, I think always just lives up to the hype. We're going to go through all of the different races that went down, but top level, I guess, what were your overall thoughts on the day?
Good to be at track meets.
Welcome back to track meets.
I mean, it always delivers. We take the heat for saying it, but it's the best track meet of the year.
We take the heat from people in Europe, but I think in America, there's universal agreement that this is like the marquee indoor meet.
I would say takeaway, don't need pace lights anymore.
The lights felt like they were all over the place.
All over.
All over.
And
lights were off.
In some cases, even like I don't even think you needed pacers in certain cases. Maybe the 3K and the 2 mile.
Okay, we're getting pacers.
Yeah, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
But
we don't need pacers.
We don't need athletes. We don't need
AI. We just got AI. Eric, overall thoughts on the day?
I mean, it's hard to be in a bad mood when you end with the Wanamaker Miles. They're always they're always so good, and the energy's very high. Fantastic meet. When you get the level of athletes in every single race that you have at this meet, it's impossible to have bad races. Impossible to finish the meet off and not be in great spirits.
To piggyback off of that, the fields that are assembled let you know how good of a meet this is and how great the atmosphere is, that on February 1st, we're pulling some of the best fields that you can possibly imagine in the world to New York on really crazy, freezing cold weather with a ton of snow outside. Everybody wants to be here.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we're all here. The gang's back together.
I heard tickets were $195 at the door.
Yeah.
Like for a track meet? That's sick. And Chris and I have a plan.
No, don't say it yet. We're going to hit the resale market hard.
I think next year we get a few bots. We buy a lot of tickets. As soon as they go on sale, we resell them on the secondary market.
Yeah.
Look,
Ray
Kyle,
Flynn's like, yes.
We buy so much Olipop.
Yeah.
We've got $272,000 deficit to make up.
And this is my first idea.
Yeah.
we're clawing back, Kyle.
Getting us out of this hole.
And we start by reselling tickets.
Great. I mean, if we're not taking PR risks by bringing you back, this won't set us back at all.
That's a $2,072 IOU. Might want to hold on to that one.
All right, should we get into some of these races?
Let's get going.
All right, so we'll kind of just hit the sprints at the beginning just with some quick takeaways. Danielle Williams looked fantastic. Amazing close to win the women's 60 hurdles, 7.90 over world record holder Devin Charlton.
Danielle Williams is a momentum athlete, and we see her have incredible seasons. She's a world champion. She's a veteran of the sport, and to see her having 2 back-to-back wins makes her very dangerous for the rest of the year.
Speaking of momentum, the way she came off the last hurdle was crazy. I mean, I wish that there were a few more hurdles for her at the end and just could have run this whole thing for 100 meters, but she had so much speed by the end of that race.
I always think just like how hard they go into that Armory cushioning over there. Like,
Don't you remember when Ashton Eden flipped
went
over
over
the...
it.
Yeah. They're
And that
coming in
could've
with some
happened to-
velocity.
That could have happened to any of us.
Yes.
Definitely.
100%.
men's 60 hurdles was highlighted by the fact that world champion Cordell Tinch ran a season's best of 7:52 to take the win over Connor Schulman and Daniel Roberts. If you're Cordell Tinch, who apparently had no plans of running World Indoors, maybe this might make you reconsider things a little bit. Dylan Beard, who was kind of the favorite, especially who Anderson pointed at yesterday, hit a couple of the hurdles, and so his race kind of went awash in the late stages, but good showing by Cordell Tinch.
I heard a rumor, and you can't trust us at all anymore because we just come on air and we spill everything. But I heard Cordell might try a different event at some point this indoor season, taking it back to the olden days when he was more than just a hurdler.
Because he was what? He did long jump, high jump, and
maybe the 1500, who knows?
Yeah.
So stay tuned. But I do believe that's the end of his indoor season in the hurdles.
Okay.
So good season.
All right, then we go over to the women's 60 meters. Dina Asher-Smith taking care of business, 7.10. Looked great.
Yeah.
Just to beat Jason Steers. Like, that is not some easy competition there.
And it has to give her confidence. It's hard as an athlete to make moves and make coaching changes, uproot your life, get in a new system, make new friends, and this underlines two back-to-back wins has to make her feel really good and feel resolute in her choices.
Talking about momentum here. Momentum's big, and this is something you could take away from this meet. Akeem Blake, another guy who's just kind of stacking performance after performance, takes the men's 60 in 6.55 ahead of Eloy Benitez from Puerto Rico, who's probably like, this is his. He had one of the outside lanes, made the most of this opportunity. This was a fun race to watch.
What do you take out of Brian Lavelle's performance here? You know, just thinking outdoor season building, one of the biggest 200-meter stars, stepping on the indoor circuit.
Yeah, Lavelle was 5th, 6.66. It's sort of like, all right, if you were using these early stages races as like a test to see, should I go to World Indoors? Maybe this is your sign. It's like, you know what, let's just focus on the 100 come outdoor season. You have so many Jamaican meets early on in April that you can go and hit. So,
but stepping down to the 60 is a harken back to fundamentals, right?
Yeah.
Like there's no room for error, and this just gives him a springboard to take it outdoors.
yeah.
Looking like big picture from a sprinter perspective, we just didn't see a lot of the biggest names here.
Right.
And I was just having a conversation with one of the biggest sprint agents in the sport. They don't hate me. And he was just telling me, like, they take so much time off after the season. For distance runners, it's kind of like you take a week and you're good to go, and by February, you're ripping. But for the sprinters, a lot of them, you take more than a month of downtime.
Nothing.
So when the season is going till the end of September, you're just not ready to go yet, and that's probably one of the reasons why we aren't seeing a lot of the biggest names.
Yeah, I think probably it'd be interesting by the end of the indoor season to see just like what percentage of the World Championship finalists from the 100 and 200 decided to run at all, because I think that number might be less than 50%. All right, then we go on over to our first distance race of the day, and that was the Burgess Family Foundation Women's 3,000 meters, which was won by Doris Lemongol in 8:31.39, new collegiate record. And the fun part to this one was that this is the one race where the pacer did their job, and then afterwards, like, it started to hit the brakes a little bit. We were watching like what the projected finish time was, and it was kind of hovering a couple seconds over what the collegiate record would be. And then right to the front, Nozomi Tanaka, which we were just like, all right, well, this is a little bit of a slower race. It might play into her hand, but she did her job of kind of like keeping everyone on the gas. And then from there, we saw some really brave running. I mean, the expected move by Doris Lemongol to take the lead at the bell, kind of expected, but it was Hannah Nuttall from Great Britain and Team Manchester in New Balance Manchester. I love the confidence that she brought to that race. She ends up finishing second. Jane Henegren third. She ends up number 2 on the NCAA all-time list with her 8:34. But big run by Doris, big run by Hannah.
Incredible day. I mean, take time up, crumple it in a ball, and throw it in the garbage. Like, this is racing at Milrose, and we got to see people have prowess and have tactical awareness. Jane is new to these pro races, and she's an incredible athlete, and we know there are great things to come from Jane. But when you look at racing on a world stage, it is different. And Hannah had a great race, coming off a lot of momentum from Boston. And Doris showed her chops here. Like, she's been in these positions before. She knows how to play a field, and she knows when her time is right to move tactically. So I love to see her come out on top today.
Yeah, go for it.
It's kind of wild how quickly we've raised our expectations for Jane. Like, going through the results, she's a freshman.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, oh, Jane didn't win. Like, she's a freshman. How quickly are we suddenly like the expectation? Oh yeah, of course she didn't beat all the pros and set the collegiate record on the way.
That's unprecedented, right? We don't see teenagers. I mean, on the men's side we do, but it typically takes women a little bit longer to develop. So we don't often see phenom teens taking down. We don't see the Cam Myerses on the women's side. It takes a little bit longer to develop and to get through the system and to get your legs under you to be able to take down a professional field. So I would say, for my money, Jane coming in third, 8:34. That's an incredible day.
It's a good thing.
I think it's okay. I'm like, look, she looked a bit flat out there. But that's when you're as talented as she is, and you've run as well as she has. That's just the type of things we're going to say about her, right? It's like, it's not like, yes, she is a freshman, but she is the fastest in history for NCAA over the 5K. She is somebody that has earned for us to talk about her like that. Doris just looked fantastic today. It was a perfect race for her. She just sat on Jane the entire race. Nozomi, the NCAA record went down because Nozomi got to the front, pushed it a little bit, kept it honest, but not honest enough to drop the likes of someone like Doris.
And if you're curious if you're going to see Nozomi again soon, of course you will, because she's going to China for the Asian Champs next weekend.
She gets on a plane tonight. Next week, Asian Champs, and then I think Australia.
She's going through security
right now.
Too? She mentioned something to me about Australia.
She should have there should be like a where in the world does Nozomi Tanaka?
We need a tracker.
Well,
Nozomi tracker.
I don't know if she's announced this yet, but she's working on a book. It's
my
really
God,
cool.
you might have just outed her.
Okay, look, guys. At some point, you're gonna need to stop dropping things that people are telling you
People are
about.
going to stop trusting us.
Yeah.
Well, it's really good news and nice news. She's working on a book.
It's a children's book.
It's a murder mystery. nothing to do with running.
and it focuses on last year.
It's smut and horror.
Yeah, it's the Akatar series.
She was like, I've seen everyone talking about heated rivalry, and there's no track
I'd
equivalent.
love to see this in writing.
It's about last season and how she obviously raced all around the world, and so she is going to kind of share what that's like to travel everywhere and be able to perform on these big stages. And I think it all culminates in the fact that she was leading a race at World Championships on home soil. So super nice. She came over and talked to both me and Kyle afterwards, and just great. She's a very easy athlete to root for. Going back to Jane Henegren, is it a good thing to kind of take this as a learning experience, but also just sort of the loss leading into the NCAA championships? Right now, obviously Doris is going to have a lot of attention. It kind of eases the pressure on Jane come NCAAs that now if she wins, it's sort of I think it's even cooler given today's result.
I think it's an important part of development in the sport is learning to process losses. I mean, there was a number of athletes today who had fantastic years last year, now come back suddenly a new season, and where it's well, you should win in a world record. And if they don't, how do you process that, and how do you move on? And how many beers are you going to drink tonight, and how hard are you going to hammer your long run tomorrow? Doing those toxic things that will set you back ultimately in your career for a really long time.
Exactly. It is part of the process of an athlete. If you think that it's just going to be great races and wins, then you haven't been in the sport long enough. This is part of this, and it's great for the viewers. It's been building this Jane and Doris rivalry. That's fantastic for the NCAA, fantastic for the sport overall. But yeah, like you said, maybe it's a benefit for her. First off, it's going to keep you hungry. It's something where you go, okay, this is what it's more knowledge for future races where it's okay, this is where Doris ran really well, right? This is where I didn't run that well. This is where I felt I could improve on, and things that I did well today to take forward to the next one. So yeah, it's just part of the learning process. Like you mentioned, she's so young, so she's got nothing but time ahead of her. But it's going to be very fun to watch them go head to head again in March.
You can either utilize Millrose Games as just continued momentum, you build confidence from it, or it's the meet that kicks you in the ass and sets you straight for the rest of the outdoor season. So I think there's a lot of learnings from this women's 3K. Then over in the women's 600, we had Roisin Willis come away with another victory. That's 2 victories in the last, no, actually not 2 victories because she finished second in the 800 in Boston, but ran phenomenally. But then today gets the victory in 1:24.87, a PB for 600 meters over Juliet Whitaker. Then it was Olivia Baker, who also ran really well today. With this one, again, it's just we're just continuing to see this development by Roisin Willis that, I don't know, I'm having fun watching to see her very publicly explore how good she can be.
There's no ceiling, right? It's incredibly exciting to see. I think I turned to you and slapped you on the shoulder and said, "Go to World Indoors."
I know,
like,
yeah.
You can't, at this point, there's nothing to lose. There's only experience to gain, only time to gain, only exposure to the biggest stages and the brightest lights and enjoying that. I mean, especially as an American, this is an off year, right?
Yeah.
Like there's one World Championship, it's indoors. Why not? I mean, I'd love to see it. Like, if you think about the likes of who you'll be racing, there aren't that many people that can measure up. And she looked incredibly strong, incredibly poised. Her tactics were perfect. Her positioning was amazing. The way she was able to close out that race just shows you how much ability she has.
There's this one thing Eric always says, and it's strike while the iron's hot.
Do I say that?
And you just should. Like, if you're fit and you're ready to go and there's a world championship, you got to go. With 200 meters to go, it was so obvious that she was going to win the race. Yeah. And just like putting a coaching hat on for a moment, her form just keeps getting better and better.
Yes.
Like, she just looks so strong and her stride looks smooth. And we know that that's just going to continue to develop. She's still obviously young. But Michaela Rose took it out, probably as we all expected. Roisin never looked panicked, never looked any way but out of control, and I think she had more time in her, but just was running to win.
It's her tactics were perfect today.
Yeah.
And in an indoor 600, it can be tough she just gauged the race perfectly, right? Maybe she probably knew, okay, this is Michaela Rose is somebody who's going to get out hot. I think she was in like third, right, for the first 400, and really
Juliet ahead of her.
Juliet ahead of her. There was really at the bell, kind of no doubt. It seemed it was just like, we were all talking as it's going on, and it was just like this was her race. She ran very well. I mean, what an amazing weekend for her, right? It's got to be such a fantastic confidence, and like mentally, one of those weekends where you're like, okay, I came in, I just broke the American record, and then the next day I came to Milrose and I won the biggest indoor meet of the year. To something that I've always said is you've got to strike when the iron's hot. And I do think I don't really understand why not do World Indoors, because I mean.
It's not too late, right? To change, if you're a coach, to change the schedule.
Yeah, I think why not us?
Well, you would watch, even if you're like, oh no, like we're gonna stick to the plan. You watch this. There's no way you watch the weekend that she had and go, maybe we should. I mean, it's so rare to come by medals, global medals on the world stage.
Life changing.
It really does change your life, and it would change your whole mentality for the sport, how you view yourself as an athlete. And if you're gonna pass that up for what? Because it is an off year. What like you're gearing up to not do there's no outdoor championships. Yes, there's World Ultimate, but it does. I would assume it just doesn't make sense in my mind after how fit she is, how great she looks. Why just keep it rolling?
Keep it rolling.
The last couple of years have definitely been like the men's 800 has just seen just sort of like this tipping point where like everyone's running 142 or faster.
Yeah.
This is the year for the women's 800. We're seeing it already, just sort of like Victoria Bossong, who was 5th at British Champs, ends up running the number 8 all-time mark in the women's 8. Roisin goes off and runs 157. This morning, Audrey Wero goes and runs 157 as well, somewhere out in Europe. Like, it's so
young talent come through.
It's young talent, and I think like they've all, I think, gotten to this point where they're like, okay, there's a little sense of belief that come outdoor season, we could take a shot at this world record that has been sussed for so long. And like Keely has been kind of at the forefront of that. The only thing that would Keely running something crazy fast at British Champs or at one of these openers that she's going to lead you as Roisin to change your mind about going to World Indoors?
No, not at all. I mean, first off, a great opportunity to race someone if they're in amazing shape. Most competitive athletes love that. Also, there are 3 medals. And also, I think we all thought Keely was going to win World Champs, and she didn't. And that's why we run the races. So, when this is what we do. Like, you race, and that's, after today, I wouldn't necessarily doubt Roisin's ability to continue coming through 124, 125 in some race in the future and feeling good now that this is under her belt.
Roisin's, this is going to be a big year for her.
We're big on Roisin.
Yeah, we're big on Maggie Congdon and Roisin, and like we very clearly have picked our favorites for Nozomi Tanaka. Like we've got our favorites for 2026 already. All right, so let's move on over to the men's 2 mile, which was probably the event of the day coming into it. A lot of hype and attention, and then a couple hours before the start, we get this news that Grant Fisher has withdrawn. He was kind of dealing with a little bit of a sickness over the last couple days.
Diarrhea.
He went
through. Poor guy.
That's what you heard? Sources?
Yeah, he told me.
Is his digestive system like
It's
his
all-
gut
you know
health?
You know what he could have used?
It seems like he needs an Olipop.
He used an Olipop.
Yeah, we do. The actual terms and conditions may vary. We're not sure about the state of his digestion, but we were devastated when we heard it on the subway on our way over. But it completely impacted the tactics of the race.
Genuinely the worst news you can get.
I feel
It's like, oh, one guy scratching for the 2 mile. Like, literally anyone but Grant Fisher. As soon as Grant Fisher's out, they go, well, time's out the window.
Yeah, so if you're one of the other competitors, you're Cole Hocker, you're Josh Kerr on the bus ride up. What are you thinking now?
Well, it's a fantastic. First off, it is a huge just curveball in the sense of like, okay, this does change people's tactics.
Are you Cole Hocker in this scenario?
Yeah, you're Cole and you're
Okay,
Josh.
I'll be
All right.
Cole.
You can be Ethan Strand.
I'll be Ethan Strand.
Well, actually, okay, so Cole got, the way the race played out, Ben Allen did a fantastic job pacing.
Whoa, hold on.
Wait,
I got a
yeah.
lot to say on this. I want to see your Cole Hocker impression.
What's like Cole? I don't do impressions, guys. Don't put me on the spot like that. But Cole sat right off, and he didn't go.
No.
Like he made sure, he goes, I am not going to. I mean, it was a very smart race in the sense where he goes, I'm not just going to be the one to go with this insane pace, and I'm going to sit back. I'm going to go like we've seen him do in races where he's not afraid. He's not making it super slow,
Yeah.
right? But he's not going to be like, I'm going to cover this rabbit and do anything it takes to get on him. He didn't do that. He sat back, and it was still just an unbelievable race from start to finish, but it wasn't nearly as fast as we thought it would be.
And Mo Farah used to do that sort of when it's like, even there were like a lot of pacers, a lot of hype and attention. This is going to be a crazy fast race. And then when Mo deep down inside is like, no, I've got the best kick in the whole field.
Well, Mo would do differently because it would be if let's say Grant Fisher was in the race,
Yeah.
and was trying to make it fast, and Cole gets to the front and just says, no, let's slow it down. That was more of like the Mo plan.
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
he would run very slow for a couple laps, and then the East Africans would be like, he's doing it again. Somebody just please get in front of him.
But not me.
They
They would argue against one another, yeah.
Paul Tanui would be like, someone's got to get in front here. But yeah, I thought it was very savvy racing by Cole to know kind of like what strategy fits his race plan the best.
He is so good at doing just fast enough that no one's
Right.
going to go around
Right.
him,
Yeah.
but slow enough that he's going to have the best kick.
It's not slow enough where people are still strung out, right?
People are still hurting.
It's still hurting. It's not enough where everybody's feeling great and everyone's going to be in there in the bell. You saw like guys that we thought would be at the bell no matter what the pay. Like Ethan Strand, one of the top guys in the field, it's still fast enough to make the top guys hurt, but not enough for Cole Hocker to not have his vintage signature kick.
It's honestly the smartest move you could possibly make in that situation, right? Because if everybody's running on American record pace, on world record pace, they're okay hurting,
Yeah.
right? And if everybody's running slow, they're knowing it's tactical. But when you hit that, like, icky in-between pace, it doesn't feel comfortable, but you see the time on the clock. Psychologically, I'm Ethan Strand, I'm thinking like, hey, we're going slower than I thought we were, but it still really, really hurts. I'm uncomfortable, I'm not sure what to do. You start building that doubt in your competitors. It's a brilliant move to do, and it's hard to guess that pace of like what is just gonna be fast enough that I'm hurting everyone just enough that I can still kick to win.
My boy Ethan died out there today, but he fought a good fight.
Oh, yeah. That's how it goes.
Yeah, but on to the next one, I think, and he probably learned, he's like, okay, that's not how I cover that move. All right, you're Josh Kerr. What was your day like today?
If I'm Josh, I am the world record holder. I'm not going to do a thing to make that faster. Like, that's on someone else to make it quicker. And so
His record lives.
Yeah.
The record lives. He's still the world record holder. It does mess with your plans a little, but I don't think Josh was ever going to be the one to take it. I will say, though, if if you would have told me at the start of the night, like, hey, 807 is going to win this thing, then
You would have thought George Beamish.
Then you think George possibly. You think and he was coming. He was coming, but there was
he needed one more lap. We were watching.
He needed like 50 more meters, and he would have got it. He was just a little bit too far back to be able to take the win. But he moved. I mean, he was sitting in nearly last place, and he comes up 5th.
I thought,
so cute. They're a little kid. So
they're ripping out there on the track.
There's a lot of post-race workouts happening, and someone's little kid is out there just absolutely sending it behind some pros, and it is very cute. They're dapping him up afterward.
All right, so can I give some flowers?
Ben Allen,
Please.
give him his flowers.
So Ben Allen did such an unbelievable job pacing, and it's not because he went out and he just ran next to the lights for 5 flat. So first off, he allowed. A lot of time, rabbits love to get out so hot and immediately open up a gap, and the way he allowed them all to settle a little and then cut in and take the pace allowed Cole to immediately latch on. Without Grant there's a lot of question of who's probably going to be the one on top of Ben, and Ben allowed them to figure that out. And then Cole didn't want to be there. It was quite obvious that he didn't want to go with Ben every single step of the way.
So there's people who are going to be going back and rewatching this race. Explain to folks, what was Ben doing when he yo-yoed back?
So at some point, it became clear to him that Cole was not on top of him. He does little look backs over the shoulder, which is allowed and encouraged if you're the rabbit. And he stepped out on the turn a little bit, got on the outside of the lane, and slowed it down just a hair. Nothing dramatic, but just enough to allow Cole to reattach. And then once it was clear that Cole had attached, and he didn't worry about the pace lights, he didn't worry about the meet director saying that he has to run a certain pace, he just helped them out. And that's exactly what he did, because he picked it back up and he started winding it back up. And he's like, all right, Cole's back on me, no gap is formed. If Ben would have done the thing where he would have just, no, I'm supposed to run
pace,
60s.
yeah.
Now they're not running 807, they're running 815, because then they're jogging at a certain point and lets them get away. So I thought Ben was a veteran in the way that he did it and allowed it to end up being a great race. Huge kudos, more flowers, grand blanks.
Yeah, because when Ben stepped off, we needed the one guy to go out there and put the foot on the gas, and it was Graham, who probably also, like, he's thinking, it's like, all right, this is a little bit slow, but I don't have the sharpest kick of everyone in this field, so I have to pull this thing from 800 out at that point.
Yeah, and like, he did a great. I think whenever he took over, I remember the next 400 up until was the fastest of the race at that point.
Correct.
Yeah.
Parker Wolfe looked fantastic.
Really good.
Really great racing out of him. He hit the front, I think, at like 400 to go. But I mean, Cole Hocker really was never. I mean, it was a pretty easy win for him. I mean, I know, like Kyle said, he didn't really want to be in the lead. I kind of think he did want to be in the lead. Right? He gets in the front.
He didn't want to push.
He didn't want to push. But it's like he does such a good job being in the front and controlling the race from the front. And you would think, he's doing a little bit, like the rabbit is there, and he's not really going with the rabbit. He's right where he wants to be, dictating the race. I thought Kerr looked great today.
Yeah. Best uniform of the day.
Unbelievable get up, the glasses, the hair.
He's mogging on these guys out there. He's looking like clavicular out there, just absolutely dominating them. I thought he great to see him back in form after pulling up in that 1500 final at Worlds. So but Cole just never really looked out of the element. He looked smooth, in control. I think the lowest he got was like 3rd with 400 to go. And he kind of dominated it, and
he's an Olympic champion,
he's
world
an Olympic champion,
That's what
world
he does.
champion. I can only imagine Cole's confidence coming in.
Favorite moment of the day?
Meet director Ray Flynn.
Favorite moment of the day. There were a lot of favorite moments of the day. I don't know that one race stood out. There was 5 or 6 really, really exciting competitions.
Yeah.
I mean, besides the 2 miles and the Wanamaker Mile and the women's mile.
Yeah.
I mean, they were just awesome races. 600 with Cooper, the 800 with Colin Solomon winning. They were just awesome.
How hard's your job to every year? It's like this just makes it harder and harder for next year. It's like, how are you going to top this next year?
In some ways it's harder, but in some ways it's easier, because I think now the athletes really want to compete at Milrose. It's like, I want to go to Milrose. It's really special. I mean, you look at the environment here, the atmosphere, the lights, the music, the people.
The tuxedos.
Well, that too. It's all part of the. Okay. Well, we do it differently here, but it's a tradition, and it's. People say to me how much they love the meet. So yeah.
It's gonna be great.
So in that moment, we're just talking about the 2 mile. You have Josh and Cole battling it down.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about Paris, the 1500. You have your athletes battling for the.
Yeah.
How are you doing in that last 200?
Well, I knew exactly what was going on. Both of
You're
those
doing
guys.
fine.
Both of those guys wanted to win. You could tell that, and one of them's going to win it. And you could tell what was going to happen, but it was another epic finish, right?
Yeah. They always deliver.
Do you think the I know how you feel, but I'll allow you to extrapolate on it. But like the need to always be chasing times, but in that 2 mile, it was just a race.
Yeah, I think we got hyped up on records last year because we got spoiled and we had these 2 world records, and you kind of had that in the back of your mind here. But really, this meet became about racing, and we saw some great racing tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, all around, and I think that's what it became about, and we all loved it.
We did.
Has Ray ever been on the CITIUS Mag podcast?
No,
before?
this is his first time.
Oh my God, that's huge.
I
Ray?
saw all your stars here, so
Yeah.
I got lucky, you guys.
Thanks for the race too. The CITIUS Mag Women's 1K was a lot of fun too.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. All right, Ray. We'll let you get back to your party.
We'll see you shortly.
Yeah.
I'll come over and
Thanks,
hang out.
Ray.
Thanks, Ray.
Thanks, Ray.
Thanks, Ray.
Thanks, Ray.
All right. That was meet director Ray Flynn. And putting a bow on the men's 2 mile talk. I mean, both of his guys won 2. Again, I guess like for context to folks who may not be as familiar, Ray Flynn Sports swept the podium at the Olympics in the 1500, and that might have been the best day of his life, maybe second to having his kid and his wedding day, but that's probably up there for that guy.
He actually said my wedding day was one of the best days of his
Oh,
life.
really?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Eric.
He did say that, yeah. it was his wedding day, like the birth of his kids, and then it was Kyle's wedding, and then the Paris 1500. I was like, what the hell?
And then Eric says, "You got to strike while the iron's hot."
He's like, and Ray goes, that's actually brilliant. Brilliant thing to say, Eric.
All right, we had the men's 600, Cooper Leckenhouse, 1:14. This, I guess, technically the world lead for 2026 because Josh Hoey's time was at the end of 2025.
Technically high school record?
I believe so, yeah. He'd probably have to...
Must be.
It was Will Sumner's 115. It's just, doesn't count.
You have to
Yeah.
probably cross-check, too, like where it is on the U18, U20 list. At this point, it's getting ridiculous. Like,
He looked great today.
Yeah, he
I thought
did.
this was a fantastic race by Cooper. Tactically very sound, right? He sat in a great spot and made one decisive move on the bell lap. And I thought it was, he's clearly in great shape. He ran 145 last week, and this was another step in the right direction. And he's looking like a real savvy pro out there.
if you're a 16-year-old right now, look at the records, it's like, oh, all right, the U18 world record is 142 for the 8 and 348 for the mile.
Look, if you're a 16-year-old, like, just focus on racing. That's not
Yeah, don't worry about time.
Record book's gonna be tough. Just
Get to New
right.
Balance Nationals and have a good time.
worry about
Or
school.
race
Yeah.
in state. I don't know.
Yeah.
Learn how to win. That's all you got to do.
Worry about prom.
Yeah.
Like the 800s. You're not getting the record.
Maybe this kid.
kid
Go
doing
to
last
prom,
There's a kid
go
on
to
the
prom
track
and
right
enjoy
now.
high school.
Yeah. You can get good as a pro.
Let's give a shout out to second place Genoa McIver, 114.7.
400 guy out of Florida,
400 guy, 44 low. I believe he was on the mixed 4x4 last year at Worlds. Has like an 800 best of 149. But if he's moving up, 114 is a nice little boost to some confidence there. He looked very smooth.
Yeah.
And, he's the one who controlled the race till Cooper took over.
Who has been the most, in the last decade or so, most successful American to move from 400 to the 800?
Brandon Johnson. He was a
Yeah,
400
by far.
hurdler.
400 hurdler, yeah. He ran 143.
Made multiple teams, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In 2013, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a great year. That's a good trivia question for folks. All right.
A relay teammate.
Oh yeah, that's right. All right, we go to the CITIUS Mag Women's 1K, where I could tell you that holding that finish line tape was so nerve-wracking.
You guys came back shell-shocked from that experience.
I didn't have a heart rate monitor on my watch or anything like that, but I would have loved to have that data because I was nervous. I was standing on the inside of lane 1, of course, because I wasn't going to
How'd
actually
you
stand.
decide who got in and who got out?
I didn't think I would be confident in letting go at the right time, and so Max stood on the outside, and he let go of his of the finish line as soon as they said, as soon as the person makes contact. Mac nailed it. Meanwhile, my job was just to hold the tape for as
Look
long,
pretty.
just don't let go, and then smile and look the opposite way. But when Siga Daguma is coming at you full speed, I'm like looking at her instead. So all the finish line photos, I'm not looking toward the camera.
I feel like you had more to lose than Mac, so that's probably, no offense, Mac, but like if Chris screws everything up, then
I wouldn't hear the end of it from the big
It
J's.
would not be
So
good.
devastating.
It would not be
Yeah.
good.
Anyway,
Mac's not on camera.
we had a facility record, Armory record in the CITIUS Mag Women's 1K by Siga Daguma in 2:35. They had requested the world record pace, and then no one went with it. Kudos to Victoria Bossong
We talked
because she
about
was
this.
like
we
right
talked
on
about
it.
this on the preview show. If you request world record, you get on the pace.
Yo,
Get
always
your
says
ass on
it.
the pace. Yeah, get your ass on the pace.
We were talking about as soon as Grant Fisher scratched from this meet, everyone goes, times are out.
Yeah.
We're not running. We're not going to
Yeah.
try. Let's just race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in this
Grant's
case,
got
no one.
crazy diarrhea. We're not running fast. Okay? We are just racing, and that's exactly what they did in the CITIUS Mag Women's 1000.
Yeah. No one went with Victoria, and Victoria nailed it. She came through 28, 59, 130, and was right on it, but everyone else was further back. So it was Siga Daguma, then Addie Wiley, indoor PB 235, and Maggie Congdon making progress, I'll say.
Maggie
Third
Congdon
place,
was
235.
Severely boxed the entire time. Not the perfect position, but she showed poise and resolve. She hung in. She didn't try to push her way out of her situation. She rode the rail, moved up as far as she could. She saw a gap, opened up, and tried to slide up as well as she could. But I mean, we talk about how big of a fan we are on
Do you
this
think she
podcast,
knows at this point that CITIUS Mag is big Maggie Congdon fans?
but buy in stock.
If
she-
we don't stop talking about it, yes.
It will
It's
get
gonna
back to her.
It's going to get back to her, just like you and Beatrice. Like, the word will travel.
Yeah.
Me and Beatrice are doing great.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you guys and Maggie Congdon are as good as me and Beatrice, I'm happy for you guys.
All right, you were adding one more point.
I don't remember what it was,
Okay.
but yeah, a great race. Good to see Siga Daguma back. I mean, she's truly one of the greats in the 800 meters. So, yeah, the speed wins over strength today, and a great race all around.
CITIUS Mag Women's 1K, you'll never forget it.
I know we just did the whole thing about records, but it is just amazing that like Jen Toomey's American record has continued,
What is it now?
and the world record is now 27 years old or something. Like
Matola ran it in 1999,
And
and
the
then
thousands run pretty frequently.
Jen
Yeah,
that's what I mean. Like,
it's not a
2:34.19.
frequently at BU as well.
Yeah, it's one of these things that you would think it's gone. I mean, every other record seems to be getting broken every single year.
here's what we do: we put Roisin and Maggie in a 1K BU. Our heads explode because we don't know who to root for.
Yeah.
It's the CITIUS Mag Women's 1K
At the BU Valentine.
Valentine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would be a great race. Then we go over to the Burgess Family Foundation Men's 800, and what a statement victory here by
man.
Colin
I think
Salmon.
this was probably the biggest statement. I mean, this is probably the performance of the day in terms of like
Expectations
coming in, and Colin Salmon, NCAA record in the 800 meters.
His name barely uttered on this pre-race show yesterday, but that's because, when you have the likes of Donovan Brazier and Bryce Hoppel and Mohamed Atatui, like, you gravitate towards those, and that's great. Yeah, it's like he's, even in the lead up to it, everyone's 142 guys and Colin Salmon, and it's like, now it's like, no, Colin Salmon and all these other guys.
I'm like trying to think what his best event is now. Now I'm confused.
It's crazy.
Probably 8. I mean,
Yeah.
it's tough to say. I mean, he didn't even make. Did he make NCAAs last year? He didn't make
Not in the
NCAAs.
No,
I don't think he made the final in the NCAAs outdoors in the 15.
no.
Yeah. So I mean, like, think about how deep the NCAA. Like Colin Salmon's range. He just beat Donovan Brazier pretty handedly. Beat Bryce Hoppel. He beat an unbelievably stacked field today in just a fantastic race. You could see him when crossing the finish line, looking in his face. You're like, this is why all that hard work pays off in a split second when you cross that line. I thought it was a fantastic race. What was it? You ran 144?
Yeah, 144. And it's just like my mind is so blurred from like we've been watching this kid since he was in high school, and he was like part of these Newbury Park 4x miles, Newbury Park high school dynasty.
Yeah, he's a high school prodigy.
And then from there goes out to NAU, running in the mile, jumps into 3Ks. Like he can do it all. And for some reason, even last year at the U.S. Championships, like sneaky guy in that 800, and like. I don't know. It's like if you're at some point for a year you should maybe force him to pick, right?
Well,
like what's the move?
It's so rare to see a guy who's run this fast in the 8 also be what is he like a 7:30?
16th at NCAA cross.
16th at NCAA
That's
cross.
crazy. That's crazy.
Like I think it's Lopez Lamont.
Yeah.
This is gonna be my next question. Who is the last person?
It's got to be Lopez. Lopez Lamont, 800-meter champ at NAU.
Yep.
Right, and also an unbelievably talented distance guy. But it's very rare to see it. He's like is Colin Solomon's like a 7:30 7:35 3K guy.
Yeah, so his PR's now 400, 47.9.
I mean, Kyle, you were talking about that
altitude,
before.
yeah.
47 type speed for a distance runner is like the guy has some serious wheels,
unheard
and
of.
he doesn't really look like he should.
Yeah, you gotta get him in the weight room.
His form isn't like you watch him mechanically run. It's not super clean, right? It's not like where you're like, oh, this is a guy who mechanically looks like he can really sprint.
I think he's got the stiffest like ankles though. They are trampolines. Mac has given me a yes. He's got trampolines.
He's got those tendons are just absolutely ready to explode off of the track. Once he can dial in the upper, once he can get the hip to nip going.
Today was an
fantastic.
Was an outright 800-meter PB for him. So 144.7. Then his 1500 is 333.
So
his mile is 352. His 3K 736.
Yeah.
His 5K is 1338.
He speaks 7 languages. He got a perfect score on the SATs. Like, what can't this guy do?
Fuck this guy.
And he can cook.
Yeah.
So,
and he's a selfless lover. God.
So I guess like the common theme right now is just sort of like now's the opportunity where people are kind of there's a lot of early season success right now, and it's very tempting to buy stock in this young talent. As of right now, like you get to invest only in one. Who are you investing in of the young bunch that we've seen today?
Give me like a multiple choice option.
Oh, wait, okay, so like
how old do you have to be?
Like Colin Solomon, Roisin Willis, like they're
Cam Myers,
yes,
which we'll get to in a bit.
Does he count? Or we're not?
Yeah,
he wasn't
sure,
here.
yeah, he's not.
I mean, it's Chris's game. I don't know.
What are the rules?
Yeah, how much money are you investing?
The rules are you have to be either still in college or first year pro. Who are you buying the stock in right now?
I'm taking Roisin.
You're taking Roisin.
I think we were talking about this earlier, is knowing how to lose. And when you are a phenom and you're coming up and everything is perfect and everything is great, you don't develop the resilient skills needed. And she's showing ability to race at a varying distances, varying tactics. And she gets it done, and she's been in the low before, and she's experiencing her high, and that's just gonna keep going. It's a train, and I'm on it.
All right, who are you buying?
I was gonna buy that kid who was doing strides.
This kid is on the track. He's doing threshold. He's right over
He's
there.
gotta be 9.
I'm gonna buy him.
He's like, look, if you're gonna do the whole workout, lead a rep. Ollie Hoare's like, dude, stop sitting on my ass. Take a rep.
Are we allowed to talk about other events now? Because I'm going to go Cam Myers
after
today. But we're not on the mile yet.
We're not on the mile yet.
We're not on the mile yet, so you can't take it.
I'll give my spiel why in a little.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go Cooper.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's pretty good.
He's
pretty good.
Very solid.
Yeah. You're like, wait a second. He
super
checks
hot ticket item right now.
You're like, he checks the box, first year pro, 142 guy. Yeah, I'll take him.
Yeah, he seems like a solid bet.
Chris?
I think I lean Roisin right now as well.
No, sorry, taken.
Already sold.
See,
Yeah,
Get into
like,
a bidding war.
Yeah, new.
Who else could I pick?
Maggie
You're like,
Congdon.
You're like, this game sucks.
Maggie Congdon, actually.
No,
Yeah.
new. Guys, we cannot be this obsessed with Maggie Collins.
All right. Next up, we've got the women's Wanamaker Mile. Nikki Hiltz nabbing one of the most historic trophies.
Another big scratch.
Yeah, Dorcas Ewoy scratched earlier this morning.
Diarrhea.
Something at the meat hotel.
Yeah. Brutal. She told me.
Also writing a book.
Yeah, also writing a book. She told me I had to talk about it, but here we are. It's smut. Another thing.
It's like the athletes have to text Ray when they scratch from the meat, and then they have to text Eric why.
Yeah. I'm like, how many of these athletes are writing smut novels?
He's
And
just
Cooper
getting
Lukenhouse is doing one
text from
too.
numbers that he doesn't have saved. He
Yeah.
says he's got diarrhea.
It's just an unknown number. Just says diarrhea, and I'm like, damn it. I'm like, and who is this?
The fifth person who's texting me
Yeah.
the word diarrhea today.
And then they also said in chapter 1 of their novel. I'm like, this is hot. This is really good stuff.
All right.
Yeah,
Anyway,
but
so-
also yes, big scratch from Dorcas, but Nikki Hiltz
First Wanamaker Mile
victory. How many times
419.64.
have they come in?
They've run Milrose 6 times, 5 or 6 times, I think, at this point.
A veteran.
I think maybe closest finish may have been 3rd last year. It was Georgia Underbell, Heather McLean. Then Nikki may have been the finishing order last year. That's what I'm trying to remember. But always shows up to this meet and finally gets rewarded with the victory in a very smart race, I think. Taking it with 400 meters to go.
Yeah.
With World Championship bronze medalist Jess Hull on your heels. I mean, that's a scary thought. Jess looked much better than she did
Much better.
from Boston.
Yeah.
So then it was just really,
It's usually
really good
the
to
other
see.
way around as far as positioning goes.
Yeah.
Usually you see Jess kind of pulling and Nikki being the hunter, but Nikki looked fantastic in that last 100. Pulled away from Jess. Great to see Jess look a bit better, and more like herself at New Balance last week. But yeah, fantastic race. I would have expected to see maybe Sinclair a bit closer to.
that's
to,
what I
to
thought too.
vying for
Sinclair
that
kind of just
title.
ran out of gas and
Yeah.
ended up baiting, but was right up there toward
She
the
was
front of the race.
leading for a while, and we don't really see that much leading out of her. She loves the pocket.
Yeah.
Yes.
Loves
Yes.
to sit in the pocket,
Yeah.
and if Dorcas was there, maybe that's where Sinclair would have sat.
Yeah.
She didn't have it there. I think Gracie Morris was also up front, pushing
Yeah.
the pace for a little while. But I kind of just love the dynamic style that Nikki's had and has been able to figure out ways to win races. I think for a long time it was Nikki closes hard very fast on the last straightaway, and now they've kind of proven that they can take it and really wind things up.
Usually, in the last couple of years, it's been like 300 go indoors has been sort of like where Nikki has made their move, and it's like now you're kind of, you build up a little bit more strength, you're able to extend that a bit more, and now today pulled it with 400 to go. So we're seeing again in a quote-unquote off year, just sort of athletes experimenting with tactics, and for Nikki, this is just sort of another card into their playbook for, I guess the plan may be double at USA indoors. They were able to come away with victories in both the 1500 and 3K last year, and sort of like you see a performance like today, assuming that Ellie St. Pierre only goes all in on the 3K, you have to probably slot in Nikki as the favorite, and I kind of maybe similar to Jess will brush this performance off for Sinclair. I saw enough in Boston to believe that Sinclair can be in really good shape for USA's, and so that's just, I mean, that was those were the team members that ended up going to the World Championship final in the 1500, and like wouldn't shock me if that is sort of the 1-2.
It'd be a
power
very
duo.
great team if that was
Do
the
we
athletes.
do we know if they plan to run World Indoors?
I think when Mac is nodding his head, but Nikki I think had posted on their Instagram story just sort of like, this is my indoor season, and I believe from here Nikki will go and run a 3K at the JDL Fast Track.
That's going to be a great meet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It'd be
and I
great
think
meet.
because Ellie St. Pierre was sick and unable to race here, that kind of maybe alters plans. And so Ellie might also be at that meet as well. So
we've been talking about Nikki for the last few years, watching their ascent, watching the skills develop of winning races from a variety of positions, getting really that aerobic strength to be able to go with these really fast paces in Diamond League. And we're looking at the potential of a world medal, right?
Yeah, I mean, Nikki got one in 24.
Yeah, and the intention is strong, and this really plays into going into an LA 28, like a long storied approach of, look, let's get really good at winning races at the biggest stages on the highest levels, and let's see what it looks like at a world indoors. I mean, the 1500 is the best it's ever been, and to be able to compete and to be able to medal in these situations requires unprecedented levels of strength, speed, tactical prowess, and we're watching them collect all of the pieces that they need to have, and it's really exciting to see as a fan to get something that has been eluding them for years, to see that moment, and we were sort of in the corner watching the celebration, and you could see how much it means to them that they're holding the trophy above their head. Like this was, you could see the emotion that this was coveted, and I'm glad to see it.
A heavy trophy.
Yeah.
Speaking of world indoors, going to Poland, great race from Klaudia Kazimierska. Polish national record today, 4:21.
Yeah.
And her teammate, or I guess former teammate, right, Wilma Nielsen?
Yeah, Wilma Nielsen was...
just missed the NCAA record.
Yeah, Wilma Nielsen was in 8th place, 4:23, running for Oregon. Her teammate, Shalana Yildiz, just ran at Arkansas this weekend and also ran something pretty fast. But I think this puts Wilma at number 2 on the NCAA list. Those two, I mean, they're always, I think, really fun to watch when they're able to go head to head. But yeah, I mean, there's the middle part of this race got a lot of PBs where it's like Lyndon Hall 4:21 PB, Margot Appleton in 6th place 4:22 PB, and for Margot, you watch this race, and if you are familiar with her from the last couple years of watching her run at UVA, like she's someone who has been just further back and like just leaves it for her kick and is able to try and navigate traffic, and sometimes successful, maybe sometimes able to come up in 2nd or 3rd. Like she's always been really close, and today I think running with a little bit more confidence is already going to show, okay, you got the nerves out from your pro debut at New Balance Grand Prix. Now actually stick your nose in it. I'm very, Margot's another one to possibly watch come this outdoor season. A little biased because Team New Balance Boston and Mark. Yeah.
There's this element of getting that confidence onto the pro scene. I think it's, you know, when thinking about someone like Margot, you would maybe see that at like the U.S. Championships or in NCAAs, but what's funny is at ACCs, she would actually take races from the gun and like make it really honest.
And ACCs has been very competitive over the last couple of years.
And now at a new level, it does take a little while to get in and be like, I do belong, and coming out early in your, you know, professional debut and running a PB definitely gets that momentum going. I will say, though, it's important to note that we said yesterday, if you're not top 8, the time doesn't count. So I don't know. We had a lot of depth that field, but anyone who was...
Is that Margo?
No,
I always say that.
Margo was 6.
I was always saying about strike all the irons hot.
Right,
Kyle was saying, you know, it doesn't count.
Emily Mackay was 7th into 4:22 PB. Wilma Nielsen 8th, number 2.
Okay, so no one else counts.
And it is Gracie Morris was 9th in a PB of 4:23, but doesn't count according to Kyle.
I missed the cutoff. It is tough though when you're like Emily Mackay, Gracie Morris, PBs, and it's one of those things where it's like these are athletes that obviously want to be closer to the front.
Yeah.
But again, it's when the fields are really competitive, world-class fields, and coaches would be like, look, when you get a PB, like you can't be too upset.
Yeah.
But it is one of those things where it's like,
you lost.
I wasn't anywhere really close to the win. I still ran fast.
Yeah. It's a step.
But I got my ass
It's a step,
kicked.
but I did get my ass kicked. So it's like there are pros and cons to races like that.
That's how you think. Yeah, it's true.
I got my fucking ass kicked.
Yeah.
So you do a hard workout after.
Yeah. And you think about it, and you carry the
First
momentum.
off, the times have changed, okay? Because now everybody you saw was doing was clicking off. It looked like thresholds out here.
Yeah. What did you used to do?
You rip. Okay? You have a good race, you run really hard, a hard workout after. You have a bad race, you run an even harder workout afterwards. No, you weren't. Threshold, I was like, let's spike up.
I mean, there used to be folks who would stick around at, the Oregon Project days and watch from the second
I'm like,
floor.
watch,
And it's
Galen's
like,
gonna go sub 4 out here
yeah,
again.
they're like writing down just sort of what these splits are. You see people with stopwatches. Today, everyone's like, oh, no, they're just...
Yeah, it's like, this sucks.
All right, men's Wanamaker Mile, the historic marquee event of this meet. Interesting race, I think, in general, because you had some stars obviously opting for the 2 mile and the likes of Josh and Cole, which then all your attention's on Yared. Yared opening up, so you have no idea what he's going to do. He was running like in 3rd or 4th for most of the race. Hobbs Kessler, I thought he would, stray from his plan of just attaching himself to Yared. Nope, that's mostly what he did throughout this race. And Cam was the one who I think was toward the front for most of it, sticking behind pacer Abe Alvarado, who did a good job as
Andrew
usual.
Coscarin was in the lead for a
Coscarin,
really
that's
long
right.
time.
Cam was
Yeah,
the one
yeah,
pushing
yeah.
it a bit.
And Coscarin, I mean, bold running for
great
him.
running by Coscarin.
And strong running. But then in the end, it's sort of like, as we're watching this unfold, I was just sort of thinking, I was like, well, we know that Cam is crazy fit right now. When's he going to go? We know that Hobbs is crazy fit. When are both those guys going to go? And they kind of just like shifted gears at the same time together. And Cam just had another extra gear to sort of with 50 to go.
Cam Myers is just like kind of on a different level right now in terms, like he has really leveled up.
347.
You saw him. He was running very well in the outdoors last year and had fantastic performances. But so far this indoor season, he's taken it up another notch. Like this win today, he did it. I mean, pretty comfortable. I mean, it took a big effort from him, but I mean, he's so smooth, right? And he's pulling from the front. You got guys who can close, like Hobbs Kessler, who you see how explosive his kick is. Yared is a guy who he's a Olympic medalist, amazing kick, and he really stretched it out and ran away from them. There was no
Assertively.
no Jamaican lean at the line. He didn't need to do it. Shout out our big for our boy Mitch.
Big for
Yeah,
boy,
Mitch actually texted me.
Mitch
What did he say?
What time is it?
It's yeah, he's got to go to bed.
Mitch said the kid's the truth.
He really is. I mean, it's a huge step up. He's 19 years old.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's doing. Right now he's the best in the world, and I would love to see him keep this momentum going.
Can I give a little shout out to the fastest last 400 in the field, Nico Young, 55.86 to close. We didn't talk about him in the pre-show, but he, like Colin Solomon, comes in. I got distracted.
I want to change the pick of the kid that I'm gonna buy real quick.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Before he comes on.
Over there. Everyone's like, "Holy shit! Oh my god!"
Anyway, finish your thought.
But incredible day from Nico. We weren't hyping him up as much as we should have in the pre-race show. So incredible stuff.
All right, we've got a special guest here.
Hello, everyone.
The one and only.
Cooper, how are we feeling after that one? Big win in the 600 today?
A little tired.
Yeah.
Couldn't get to the cool down for about 3 hours, but
Wait, what did you do for 3 hours?
Just watch the meet?
we did watch the meet. That was the most important part, but
Too many fans?
a couple of fans. But I enjoy it. So
Yeah.
it's awesome to get to give love to people that support me. So great race, great meet. So
What'd you learn from the race?
that I think I can go out harder than I think I can. I think this season the most important thing was for me was to learn different types of racing, especially from high school. So and then just knowing I can put myself in any race I go into. So that was the main goal for this one.
You've now had 2 races as a pro with different expectations.
Mm-hmm.
How does that feel? I mean, last year I would say you've had great races prior to that, but Rio Milrose was probably where you announced yourself to the world. So now what's it like being here when the expectation is you should win?
Yeah, every race I go into, I have the expectation that I'm going to put myself in it, and I can only control what I can control. So if somebody runs, 141 and I run 142, but I gave everything I had, you can't complain with that. So just going into this race knowing that I wanted to be in it and try to compete and hopefully come away with the win.
I think I remember last summer when you signed and turned pro, and we kind of talked about sort of what the next step would be. You emphasized sort of like we want to keep things as normal as possible because that's what's worked so well. How has that been? Just sort of like trying to, have there been any changes that you were like, okay, we're going to try something new in 2026, or has it been pretty similar?
Very similar, I'd say. I think you do what's worked so well, and last year worked really well for me. So training's been slightly different in the way of we're peaking for different times now instead of how last year we're peaking for June. Now we're peaking for later in the season. So just always being ready for something different. And me and Coach Capot, we've worked really well so far this year. Had a great fall base training. So
USA indoors?
We'll get there.
Yeah.
Still a couple more, or 1 to 2 more races before that. So we'll just kind of see how everything is going.
Is there like a group chat between you and some of the other teenagers who are running really well right now? Like,
so there was a couple group chats that I'm in. A lot with our Nike Elite team has a group chat, which is like top 10 distance guys in the country. So it got blown up a little bit today because some of them were here racing, but it's always great to hear from those guys because being the same age as them, it's we're all pretty similar in a way.
Yeah, when you see Sam Ruth run 3:48, what do you think?
like who's winning a 1K?
Oh, no comment on that. That'd be a great race though. But no, that guy he's special. With him being 16, I feel old a little bit. I turned 17 a month ago. So the back.
Oh yeah, you're old as shit.
The legs are starting to feel it a little bit. But
you had a great career.
Yeah, no. Look, you've lived a long life.
But no, Sam is a special talent. He's a great person. I talked to him in Tokyo, so I only wish him the best throughout his career and all his races.
Yeah. Is there a pro that now that you're on the circuit, like one of the older guys or gals who've taken you under the wing, or any good advice that you've received from anyone?
Yeah, I've received a lot, but I think coaches are probably the biggest thing. I think one of the biggest ones, Coach Van Hoy at Cal Poly, he's been great to hear from, just because my coach is so close with him. And my coach, a lot of times he'll go to him just to kind of hear what he has to say, and Coach Van Hoy has the resume. So great guy to talk to and just a great coach.
What's next for you?
The Sound Running meet in North Carolina. So not sure exactly what I'm going to be running there, but it should be fast from what I'm seeing.
Do you have the temptation for a mile yet, or no?
Maybe outdoor.
Okay.
Seeing, because I know Sam's going to be at Sound Running, I believe.
Okay.
Maybe not. But I think he might be running the mile, so we might stay away from that for right now. No. But maybe outdoor season we might see one.
All right. Well, Cooper, thanks for stopping by. Congrats again on the win, and best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you
great
very much.
job,
Thanks.
man.
Do you think
Cooper
he has to go to
Leckenhaus.
school?
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
Like,
We should've
I've got
asked
the
him if there-
scaries. I don't know if he does.
If it's like, oh, World Indoors is like, if I can get out of class, like.
Yeah, I've got a biology final I got to hit.
But, I mean, he's got such a great head on his shoulders, like the maturity of a 17-year-old. It's just what I'm blown away every time I hear, especially Cam Myers speak.
I don't want to, pivoting back, I guess, to the Wanamaker Mile. One of the reasons why I said earlier that I would buy Cam Myers, which is just because after hearing him speak, like the maturity that he has.
Listen to him on the CITIUS Mag podcast.
It's just like he's so thoughtful. It's not like, and I think this is a big difference in something we've seen consistently, whether it's, Cooper, Sam, Cam, Quincy Wilson, is like these young guys aren't running fast because they're freaks of nature, which they are. They have a completely mature grasp of the sport that normally most of us wouldn't have gotten until we're in our mid-20s.
We still don't have it.
We still don't have it.
Yeah,
if you had that talent, you wouldn't have managed it as well as these guys.
I mean, no. I would have been throwing up in my room.
Yeah, you would be dead, Kyle. No, they are very mature, and they aren't. But also, I think that type of maturity comes when it's like, okay, now you are a pro. You have. There are certain expectations that you have to kind of rise to the occasion for, right? It's like they're kind of the world as far as it's like, oh, the world's on his shoulders now. As far as oh, you make the team, you run 142, whatever you ran at outdoors last year. Now all of a sudden you're the guy, you're the future, and you. But it is they are very mature. They talk. They do have a very strong grasp of the sport. They understand it, and that's what it takes to beat these guys, to be the best in the world. And it's very impressive to see where it's at right now. The sport's in a strong with when they're at the lead.
Just to close this out, I want to get report card grades for the top 5 in the men's Wanamaker Mile.
Okay.
5th, Andrew Koskinen, 349.54 report card grade.
I mean, I think he ran great, but it's nothing that we haven't seen out of him before, just testament to his previous stuff. I give him a B.
Give him a B plus.
I'm gonna give him,
I don't want to just give everyone.
Yeah, no.
It was great, but I know that
I'm actually gonna give him an A minus. Like, we don't really see him being behind the pacer.
Okay.
Like I
That's
thought
true.
this is a new style of racing for him. He's usually sitting back and relies on a big close. So I think it's a brave move to say, like, hey, I'm gonna go out and sit behind the pacer in front of a couple of world and Olympic medalists, or people that are hot ticket items, and I'm gonna dictate the race, and I'm gonna choose how I want to race today. So I'm gonna give him an A minus. I mean, I'd love to see him top 3, but love to see you go out on a limb.
I think we should all only have a couple A's. I'm throwing that out.
Okay.
There. You got to give a few B's out.
I think Koskinen is a guy that has taken a big jump. He ran in New Balance. He ran 7:30 in the 3K behind Myers. I think that's a great performance out of him. It's what it takes, like the strength it takes to be competitive in the mile or the 15 is you have to be a 7:30 or under guy if you want to have any shot in these competitive 15s and miles. I think a A minus. I think a B plus is a good race, a good report card for him. I think Koskinen could hear B plus and be like, yeah. Again, it's like this is a guy that wants to win.
Yeah.
Like, you're not as good and as fit and the type of competitor that Koskinen is. Going to walk away, get on the plane back to Ireland or wherever he's going, probably Flagstaff, honestly, who knows, and be like, yeah, that was a fantastic. Like, you want to be vying for the win. You're good enough to, when you have a great day, be up there. So I think he's hungry after a 5th place performance.
4th place, Nico Young, 348.72 PB.
First time under 4.
Officially. on a regulation size track.
I think it's a great. I think
He had
it's
a hard
A.
close.
Yeah, a hard close, and I mean, think about you don't really consider Nico. He's unbelievably talented, right? And he's one of the best, American distance guys, but you just don't think of him as a guy who's going to be vying for wins at Wanamaker necessarily when it's fields like this, right? I think it's a great day for him. It's
fastest final 400 of the whole bunch.
Fastest final 400.
55.86.
I think
Everyone else 56.70, 56.86, 56.02.
All the way in the back.
Yeah.
he was sitting way in the back.
But that's not the wrong move for someone
No.
who's a 5K runner, right? Like he ran, I would say, of the day, probably one of the top 2 smartest races. Obviously, Cam Myers to win, we're going to give him that. But I would honestly give Nico an A+. I mean, he played to his strengths. He knew his race plan. He didn't get carried away following a pace that was maybe a little bit too hot for him. I think he nailed it. I think he ran perfectly.
I think I agree. I'm going to give him an A. I think no one really talked about the possibility of him even winning. So the fact that he was, his nose was in it at the end and he closed hard and ran 3:48. This is a guy who I think we probably all thought was going to run a little bit better at cross.
Yeah.
And whether it's U.S. cross or world cross, but I think he might just be a guy who can really rip it on the track right now, and that seems to be where, he's throwing the eggs in that basket and it's working. So I'm with you. I think he crushed it.
Hobbs Kessler, 3rd place, 348.68.
I'm going to give Hobbs a B. I'm going to give Hobbs like a B minus, and I think he'd say the same. I think he would say he's not pleased with the day, with the result, but you saw him make a kind of an aggressive move. You could see that he was sensing Cam Myers moving and maybe lit a little bit too strong of a match on the backstretch here. Kind of moving out. He tried to play it smart of only passing on the turns. But again, he didn't have his positioning perfectly as he usually does, and I don't think it was the perfect day for Hobbs.
I thought. I actually thought he tactically Hobbs is very good. Like he gets out, he sits on exactly the person he wants. He goes, Yared's the guy. I'm gonna be on his shoulder. I'm gonna be on the outside of lane 1. I think he's getting better tactically. I think the kick that you would want him to have today, he had last week in Boston.
Yeah.
He just didn't. It looked. He went for it, right? He, like you saw him, whether it was 150 to go. He's moving, he's trying, and Cam Myers just was too strong for him. I think that was really all the difference it was. I think it's great fuel to the fire for Hobbs Kessler, right? But when you are one of the main favorites, right? It's like we were talking about it, right? It's when you have Hoey scratches, you're not really sure about Yared. We're like, I think it's Hobbs and Cam Myers. And when you're Hobbs, you're thinking the exact same thing. And when you come up and you don't win, you're going to be upset. You're going to be pissed.
Yeah.
But it's great. We've talked about it before. It's part of the process, and hopefully you use it. You're learning. You're going to race these guys more. And I think it's so I think Hobbs, it's probably, I'll give him around the same. I'll give him a B-.
B-. Yeah.
I agree. I think you guys nailed it. And you want to be a little pissed. And I want my favorite athletes to be pissed if they lose.
Well, also, who was it that said Hobbs did a lot of strides yesterday?
You were watching pretty closely.
Yeah. we were watching. He did 10 by 200 in there. Again, like we didn't even mention, we were talking about if you buy stock in a young athlete, Hobbs is still like in one of
He's
these
in
athletes.
the conversation.
Credit, actually, no. According to Cooper Lukanau's, Hobbs is like
Grandpa.
old as dirt and is lucky to even make it to be alive right now.
All right.
Yeah, I thought it was for the marquee race, fantastic and super fun.
Then we go to Yared, 348.31. Second place. Doesn't pull off the 4P,
The 4P.
but closer than I thought he was going to be, just given, yes, Yared's baseline fitness is a little bit higher than everyone else, but a good showing considering the fact that I had question marks coming into it.
Yeah, I'd give him like that B+, A-.
Yeah.
I was thinking A-.
When you've won a few times, then like that becomes the expectation. But I think that he ran well, but when we've seen what he's capable of, we can't be handing out A+.
Yeah, agree. I mean, it's challenging when Cam Myers has been racing several times in a row. Same with Hobbs. Like they've got this locked in. I'd agree with you. I mean, I think he had a really good day, but to not come away with a win, we can't hand him an A+. But to come out and to be contending with the two big dogs that are running world records, has to be at least an A.
I took my L's in so many of my predictions, but this is the one I think that I got right. I had Cam Myers winning this race, and so I'm giving him an A+. Just great execution in general. I think when there was so much jockeying around kind of behind him in that 3-4 spot throughout the race, he was just like oblivious to all of it happening because it was right behind him the whole time. It was just Pacer, Koskinen, and him, and that's a good enough just focal point for him, and he came away 347 for the victory. A+ for me for Cam Myers.
C-. I wanted a world record. No, he ran great. Now he has to make this flight every single year, I guess. Like he has to keep coming back to New York every single time. The appearance fee is going to be be too good.
So A+?
A+. See, how can you not?
Yeah, A+. I mean, A+ is a bit straight. Give him a solid A.
Did he PB?
Did he PB? I don't
No,
know.
I don't think so.
Probably not.
No, world lead.
He
Don't
wasn't even the best version of
World lead,
himself.
but not.
Yeah.
All right. That's
A.
fair. Yeah.
Solid A.
And the interesting thing about Cam Myers, it doesn't sound like he's going to do World Indoors because the Maury Plant meet is like the same weekend, and for an Australian that matters a lot more. So
I should speak on that.
I can't. Like, you got to move the meet. Like, we have to incentivize the right things. It is a world championship. Love Maury Plant. Love the meet. Love the people.
Love Australia.
Love Australia like so much. Everybody in Australia knows I'm your girl. But
everyone knows.
Everyone knows I'm a
like it.
Commonwealth champion in Australia. Like those are my guys down there. But we have to prioritize the right things. Like, and if contracts, endorsements, eyeballs are all channeling to a world championship, that is what we need to focus on. Medals are life-changing. people don't talk about. I mean, people talk about there are a few meets in the world that people say like, oh, so and so's Eric's the Wanamaker Mile champion. Like there is legacy in that, but I haven't heard like, oh, he's the Maury Plant meet champion before. That's not something that
Australia.
that rolls off the tongue. But I just think that everyone concentrating on a schedule that is announced and discreet of like here's what we rely on, here is what we focus on. That's what I want to see, is that everybody's got their eyes on the same calendar.
I think there's a few days between the both of them, right? Like it's not the same weekend.
Yeah.
I think.
The travel would just be hell.
But I to your point, and I guess adding on top of that is the thing that we now need out of Cam is championship experience. That's like what's missing on his resume. We know that he is an unbelievable runner, and I think indoor championships is one of the best places, and it's just so difficult to replicate that environment. And I think as we are gearing up towards future championships, you shouldn't pass up that opportunity. I would do World Indoors, and then if you had a few days, get a first class ticket and then run like an 800 or an
You're
off
young,
event.
just hop over there. It's not going to hurt you.
Well, let alone like the fact that you look at the indoor, like who knows the status of Jakob Ingebrigtsen, right?
He's out for the indoor season.
So he's out for the indoor season.
Yeah.
Okay, like now
He's writing a book.
He's right now writing. He's at his desk writing smut by hand, pissing out of his ass with diarrhea. But it's a great time for Cam Myers to get a medal with when one of the favorites is out, but. It's like Kyle said, you are going to race these guys a lot. You want to be beating these guys in the championships, and there's no better practice to get your tactics right at a world indoor championships. Indoors, your tactics have to be unbelievably sound to do well. Okay, you feel me? You with me? You with me, girl? Yeah. You got if you can figure out how to not get diarrhea.
Which is good traveling.
Which is good with traveling.
That's part of it.
It's part of it. It's going around right now. Everyone's just sitting on the toilet. But yeah, I think Cam, the experience from any world championship meet is invaluable.
Cam's watching this. He's like, he has a point until he got to the diarrhea part.
Yeah.
He lost me on that.
He's like that's not true. That's not true. Jakob's like, what the fuck, dude? Jakob's like, I'm healthy as a horse, minus my Achilles.
All right,
Chris, wrap us up.
Yeah,
Follow that up.
That was the 2026 Millrose Games here at the Armory Track and Field Center in Manhattan. Next up, I believe there's some fast races that are going to be going down in North Carolina at the JDL meet. I think people kind of getting that last fitness test before the U.S. Championships. People will be flocking to BU for the Valentine meet if they can get over their diarrhea.
I'm like, all of a sudden my stomach just dropped. I'm like,
wrap it up.
Yeah. Anyway, well, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. What will help you with any sort of preventive your diarrhea will be some Olipop. Get that gut health, feeling good. Use code CITIUS25 at drinkolipop.com. Thanks to Olipop for sponsoring CITIUS all the time. And we have tons of interviews from the Mix Zone on the CITIUS Mag YouTube channel. We'll be recapping this meet. Probably more on all of our channels. Doing Lap Count comes out on Wednesday. Kyle's riding for it again. And that's a wrap from here in New York City. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next time.